Wolf?
World Trade Center and the Pentagon, quote, acts of war, and officials now say the White House itself was an intended target. Let's go live to CNN senior White House correspondent John King. So obviously at the White House. John, tell us what we know about that.
Well, Wolf, to put this new information in context, let's think back to yesterday morning when the first pictures were being shown of those planes hitting the World Trade Center. We saw an evacuation here at the White House. CNN is also told now by sources that Vice President Dick Cheney, National Security Adviser Condoleezza Rice, other top White House officials were ushered out of their offices to a command and control bunker, a fortified command and control bunker deep beneath the White House grounds here. Why? Administration officials now saying that that plane that came across the Potomac River caused so much damage across the river at the Pentagon. Its initial target, we are now told, might not have been the Pentagon.
We have real and credible information that the airplane that landed at the Pentagon was originally intended to hit the White House.
Can you tell us about the nature of that evidence?
No, of course I cannot. Any questions relating to how we have obtained any of this information, sources and methods, I will of course not answer.
Why
it changed course? Why it went to the Pentagon and not the White House?
We really do not know the answer to that.
Administration officials also saying not just the White House, but in their view, they also believe that Air Force One, the president's jet, was a target for the terrorists. That, they say, the reason the president did not fly directly back to Washington from Sarasota, Florida. You will remember he stopped first at a military installation in Louisiana, then a military installation in Nebraska. Only then did the president return to Washington with an extraordinary fighter escort visible to those flying aboard Air Force One. The administration saying it believed Air Force One was a target as well. Some sources even saying they believe that plane that crashed outside of Pittsburgh was planning to turn south and bank its way toward Washington and, if possible, emphasis on if possible, collide with Air Force One as the president was returning to Washington. Wolf?
John, pretty amazing stuff. The president did meet with his national security team once again today. Do we know anything at all about a timetable for a possible U.S. military response?
We know nothing specific about a timetable except the public words of the President and the Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld, both saying to be patient, that fighting terrorism will not come in a day or two. But we do know, Wolf, from sources familiar with those discussions, the President met twice with his national security team today, and we are told that among the items discussed were possible U.S. military options. We're told, though, these discussions are in their earliest stages. The priority right now for the administration, building broad diplomatic support. The President spoke today to a half-dozen international leaders, including the presidents of China and Russia, and the administration very much welcoming NATO's statement that these terrorist attacks on the United States, in the view of NATO, are attacks on the NATO alliance. So the President promising that there will be consequences to this, but also saying it might take some time.
John King at the White House, thank you very much. Back